You guys ever seen this lock and lube deal? I've had it for a while and never put it on my grease gun. I've just used kind of the standard nozzle that come with the grease gun, but I thought I'd go ahead and put it on today since we're gonna grease the machines on this Sunday afternoon. Try it out and see how it does. Simple deal to put on. Just a few wrenches in the old vise here. Loosen the old one up, snug this thing on. It's supposed to kind of help from slipping off, I think. Now to me, this is one of the great things about having a shop, because I can come out here all hours of day and night, tinker when I got nothing else to do on little things. You guys know I'm not much of a mechanic, but some things I can do. I probably shouldn't even own tools, but I do. But here back when we were on the railroad project, the gas shock went out on this door, which you guys that run these skidders with these doors, these cab machines, if you're in and out of them a lot like we are, especially on any kind of incline, these things are heavy and you fight them getting out, you fight them getting in. So these gas shocks are actually pretty essential. And I've had this gas shock. Honestly, I forgot I had it, and I was kind of going through the toolboxes there, just moving stuff around, greasing, oiling, maintenance and stuff, and seeing that gas shock. I was like, yeah, forgot I need to do this. This is bent up a little bit, but I'm not so sure it hadn't been like that a while. We'll take a set of pliers and tweak that down just a bit. I don't think it's gonna make too big of a difference how that is. Kind of see there why it's like that. I mean, it really looks bad at that angle, real bad actually. But we'll kind of tweak that down just a bit to try to get the line up. Then we're going to take that old ball joint out there, because these shocks come with new ball joints, nuts, bolts, and lock washers. Righto. Even it out just a bit. Looking at this one over here, it's not perfectly straight either. I don't know if they're supposed to be perfectly straight or if they're supposed to be bent at an angle there. I'm just gonna put it on there and see how it looks, and we'll go from there. Like I said, the other one worked just fine, just the shock gave out one day. So these shocks get old, worn out, just like anything. I have to replace them on my toolboxes occasionally as well. So those nitrogen shocks, if anything, like I said, it's just probably wear and tear, because I'm guessing it's a good possibility that could have been the original shock on this door. Now, if I remember right from years past on doing this on our G models, this thing is just a little long. And if I remember right, the best way to do it is go ahead and undo your strap there, extend that door out a little farther, let it drop in, then put your strap back on, because yeah, these nitrogen shocks do have a little strength to them. They are stout, a little hard to push in, so I'm not going to try to fight that. Standing 1 foot out the door, 1 foot in the cab, so it's easier just to drop the strap there. Yeah, like so. And yes, it's kind of how I remembered it being right there. Just you can open that to where it swings straight out. Like I said, again, your strap won't allow the door to go straight out. That way it doesn't get in the tire, it kind of comes back at an angle. So once you do that, just drop it right in. Then you can go ahead and tighten up here. Then just put your strap back on. Okay, now we got those kind of semi on there. They're on there anyway. We can go ahead and snug up with the wrench here. I'm gonna need to get another wrench to hold that nut up there, obviously, and that'll take 2 hands, but you guys kind of get the gist of it. We'll get that snugged up. Okay, we're tightened up. Straps back on the door here, just like that. And that's what you got to worry about a lot. That thing, I think, overextending. If those straps aren't on the door, I think that can get you into some trouble. But it's nice to be able to work on an incline or something, that door stay open like it's supposed to. If you're not fighting it, especially like, again, us, because I've usually got a chainsaw here in the floorboard with me, depending on where we're working and what we're doing. So if you're on any kind of slant or incline or on the downside, this door, you know, it's falling open, or if you're the opposite way, you're fighting to get out of it, you're fighting to get back in it. It's nice just to have these doors like they're supposed to be. Nice and tight, kind of like the other one here. They don't come all the way. The ram doesn't go all the way back in that cylinder. You see that leaves a little bit out there, but out they go. All right, another task complete. And again, I'm crazy about things being right or close to factory, so just little things like that will bug me to death on our equipment. The next thing I want to kind of tackle on this 548 here when we got it, here on the lower step, you can see this lower step right here. There's no bolts in that strap because that's not the strap that's supposed to be in there. And I know some of you guys are like, well, that's not that big a deal, those bolts. Au contraire. These bolts and those straps, when you're getting up in there, of course, this strap, the factory strap, is a lot firmer anyway. But those bolts, when you're climbing up in that, kind of hold on to your boot. And that'll keep you from slipping and falling. And that does happen because I've slipped and fell getting into this thing a couple times. And it's just little things like that that aggravate me. And it's a simple, cheap fix. And if you can do it and get it right and get it back to where it's supposed to be, you might as well do it. That's how I look at it. I like everything to be right. Now, the next thing we're going to address, not today, but here in the near future, is the lighting situation on this 548. You guys know I like my lights. I like to be able to work after dark or into the night at times, so lights are very important. Some of these lights on this 548 are busted out, which I've went above and beyond. I don't have them here to show you, but the lights that they use on the Timber Pro Feller Bunchers, Vision X lighting, those lights are amazing. After working next to that 755D Timber Pro Feller Buncher on the railroad project this past winter, working early mornings before the sun came up and working into the night after the sun went down, seeing those lights and how good they were, I was like, I need a set of those lights. So I called the fine folks at Vision X, and they do offer kits for these John Deere skidders, the 648s, the 548s. I think the lights are all the same. But I've got a set of those lights. Now, I will tell you they are not cheap. Those lights did run about $1,500 for those LED lights. And I know people can say, well, you can find them cheaper LEDs. Yeah, but the Vision X, good American-made stuff. And I seen the lights themselves in action, so I know what I'm getting. And good lighting is worth every penny as far as I'm concerned when you're working at night. The LEDs anymore definitely are so much better than the old halogens like on these skidders here. So LEDs, it's going to be in whichever one of these H models we keep. We'll actually get some halogen, the same set of the Vision X, the LEDs to put on there, take the halogens off. Just like the skid steer, it's running LEDs. Serco's running the LEDs. I don't know if the Serco's got the Vision X on it or not. It very well could. They're good lights regardless. But again, crucial to run the LED lighting system when you're working at night, I think. I mean, it definitely helps and improves your vision. Oh, after a wasted trip to Fredonia, Kansas today to look at some timber, back in Stockton, tinkering around. Just here on the yard, or at the shop and on the yard, but one thing, people asked me about this, so I'll just kind of make some filler for some video here. So we use these log savers on our logs, on our good logs anyway. This is the hammer right here. I'm not going to demonstrate putting anything in, but these are what they look like right here, plastic. We used to use the metal S irons. These are a little more practical. You just pound them right into the log with that hammer right there. These two little buttons right there kind of hook into that circular part like so. Then you eat your Wheaties in a can of spinach and you swing with all your might and hope that you hit it square and drive it into the log like it should be. And if you don't, you ruin an iron and you cuss and get mad and all those things. But we'll run up here to the yard real quick before these logs go on their merry way, which honestly, I figured I'd come out here and see a truck loading, but I do not. He might wait till it's a little cooler because it was a little warm today. Here's a prime candidate right there. Of course, just a 3-sided log, that little booger right there kind of ruined that, which it's probably better off if it was cut back, but whatev. So in the hot weather, you can see what these logs will do, especially the walnut. they will start to separate on your good logs. So these log savers, we still call them irons, putting irons in logs, even though they're plastic. But these, you drive them in there, they help hold the wood together. Some logs might take one, some logs might take two, some logs might take 3 or 4, depending. So that's that log there. And this log here, it didn't need anything in the top. See how the sparks come off this big jewel here. Did we put anything in this one? Yes, we did. So we just put 2 up here, and these things will come completely apart and split in 2. We didn't put anything in this log at all. How about that? Nothing in that one there. Let me just run down through here and we can find them in these logs. I know we put 1 or 2 in this guy. Yeah, 3 in this big one here. But they will split completely in 2. I've seen it done more than once. Watched them just split into 2s or 3s or even quarter them. So like this one here, we just drove 1 in this big brute right here. Didn't put any in that guy. This one would have been significantly bigger if we'd have cut it right here at 9 foot, but there's a reason for that madness, you guys know. And just 1 iron in the top. This one had nothing in the butt but 2 irons in the top. That one had, I don't know, was it 1 or 2 in the butt, nothing in the top. This one's got a couple. You can see right here, they will come apart on you. Sure enough, these good logs will. That's one way we combat that. Hate summertime logging, absolutely hate it. But unfortunately, my banker says I have to log year round. There's got a couple in it. And on the lumber grade stuff, we don't so much worry about it. Go figure. I mean, a lot of times this is just lumber grade material. I guess the knots and all the defects kind of hold it together because you don't see them popping off and coming apart too awful much. That one there. This is a second cut, but it's a good second cut. That one's starting to kind of show a little bit right there, you can see. But yeah, so that kind of gives you an idea what we do with those. Again, I really thought they'd be here loading logs today. They're anxious to get these things taken care of. I know with the weather, and I guess we're anxious to get them out of here and get ready for the next set to come in, which we've got some gravel that's got to come in. We've got some dirt work that needs to be done here to kind of level this up at a one continuous even grade angle. That way it'll drain back here to the back. And again, a lot of rock coming in here. So that kind of gives you an idea on that, because people have asked me about it before, and oftentimes I don't do a real good job of explaining things. If you keep at me enough, I will, I guess. But for the most part, yeah, I don't do a tremendous job of explaining. These logs look like they've been moved. Maybe they haven't, but they look like it. No, I don't guess they have. I don't know. I get kind of paranoid. I'm like, man, people have been on my log yard messing around, but I don't know. Got tire tracks here. I'm always looking for things, always looking. But I think these are tire tracks from my 5500 Ram. So anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Enjoy the videos. We're going to try to put more of them out, although there'll be some things in the coming weeks, kind of a little off topic from what we normally do. All forestry and wood related and what we do anyway. But again, with the impending doom of summer coming, there's not going to be a whole terribly lot of cutting going on. I hate this time of year. I hate it. We've been pretty lucky so far. We haven't had a lot of 90-degree weather. That's all going to change this week for us. It's pushing 90 right now, and later in the week they're calling for more of that stuff, and we need to be in the woods. A couple people even commented like our equipment. We've got this thing. I've got 3 skidders in here. They're like, well, you're not making any money if your skidders are there. We've still got skidders on job sites. Those are just in here. Keep them out of the sun. But thanks for worrying about us.